everybody, my name's Sammy the Great, and welcome back to Outlast 2. So it's time to start it again, so let's go! No, I'm just kidding. One time is enough for me to play Outlast. So, yeah, we're done with the game, but I wanted to go back and look at the recordings that we got going through the game and get Blake's thoughts on the game and get my thoughts about it and what I thought about the game. So it's a beautiful day for YouTube, so let's get into this. So we're gonna go into the recordings here, and as you see, these are all the things that we recorded throughout our adventure in Outlast 2. Now, what I get from this is that whenever Blake was recording something, he was also talking over it, but you couldn't hear it unless you actually went into these recordings. So, it's Blake's thoughts about what was going on throughout this adventure. And so, I thought it'd be cool to go through that. And I would have gone through it during the actual game, but silly me didn't know that this even existed. And I did not know this was a thing until halfway through it. And I was like, well, I probably shouldn't start now. That'd probably confuse some people. So I decided to just kind of wait after I'd finished the adventure and then go back and watch them. Now, I do not have all of them because some of them went by really fast. And if you didn't put your camera on it right then and there, you weren't recording it because it was already halfway gone. So I don't have all of them, but I have a good majority of them. And so we're going to go through these. And also, I didn't get some of them because I was being chased by something during it. So it was like, well, I would rather not die and not get a recording than die and get a recording. So I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna skip that. So, alright, so let's see what Blake has to say about these. So, here we go. Alright, let's play them. There's my beautiful Lynn.
Here for newstomorrow.net. We're flying past the Havasupai Indian Reservation in central Arizona in search of the origins of murder victims.
Was that it? That was great. Look at the look she's giving me, like, Blake, you are such a goofball. Alright, let's play this.
Okay, we're good.
2 weeks ago, a young woman was found wandering barefoot, pregnant, and alone on a barren stretch of highway 100 miles from
That was, I remember that sound. That was right before we crashed. How great was, oh, there's the crash. Okay, but we should be getting into now what Blake was thinking after this.
Lynn's body wasn't in the wreckage.
Here we go.
She could still be alive.
Yeah, see? So, whenever I was recording these things, I didn't hear what Blake was saying. So it pretty much gives you a different perspective of what Blake was thinking throughout this whole process. So that's actually really cool. Alright, here we go.
Pilot. I don't even remember his name. What the fuck kind of people would skin somebody alive? Jesus Christ, Lynn.
Uh-huh. And that's when I just started, well, I was like, well, I don't know what to do. But, yeah, so it's pretty cool to actually go back and remember what this adventure was, because we started out as a reporter and ended up being terrified psychopath. So, I mean, it was a long adventure, so it's pretty cool to actually go back through this, because there's certain spots that I kind of forgot about. But yeah, this one I actually went back to, because I remembered, I was like, you know, in the mayhem of all this, you know, you're like, where's Lynn, after the plane, or after the helicopter crashes. You're like, where's Lynn? But you have to remember, there's also a pilot in there, and I went back and I was thinking, because whenever I first played this, the first episode, it didn't save. So I had to go back and play it again. And I was going through it again, and I was like, wait, there was a pilot in there. What happened to the pilot? And so I went back through this, and I saw this, and I was like, oh no, I'm in for a treat, aren't I? But yeah. So, yeah, that was the pilot right there. Yeah, he was pretty much dead from the get-go. I don't know why they didn't do that to us. I guess they couldn't find us, or we just got away, or we got lucky. Probably we got lucky. But, yeah. Oh, goodness.
Supposed to be anything for miles. I wasn't alone out here. Fuck, I wasn't alone out here.
Oh, so this is where we are starting to realize the mayhem and the place that we are actually in. We're starting to realize we're not the only ones out here. There's some psychos out here, and they're gonna kill me if I don't actually, you know, do something about this. So, that's when I think this is when Blake really, actually, I feel like Blake realized that there was other people out here whenever he saw the pilot tied up with his skin off, burnt, and on a tree. I think that's when he realized, yeah, I'm in some deep crap right here. So, what's this?
Topped with barbed wire. could feel tension in my skin. Somebody watching me.
Did you hear that random scream in the background too? Okay. Yeah, I don't remember what this was all about, but it looks like they were tributing to the babies that maybe they were killing. I don't know. Oh, okay. So I could... Okay. So these were basically all the notes that I had to read and stuff. Oh, you could clean the text? Oh, well, that would have been helpful in some of those. Some of those I was like, what were they trying to say there? What's the writing? Because sometimes it was like chicken scratch. That would have been nice to know. Oh, well. Alright, well, I won't read through those because I've already read through those in the actual
enormous.
text.
Some sort of hillbilly Vatican. How could all of this have been here and nobody knows about it? It's not possible.
I like his saying, hillbilly Vatican. That's pretty true right there. They were a bunch of hillbillies. They were kind of out there. They were kind of, themselves were the outsiders. I'm just gonna say. They came from society and said, yeah, we ain't about that life. So they came and formed their own society, and it was terrifying. Alright. Clean text. Oh, this would have been amazing. I probably could have actually read this whenever I was actually doing it. I didn't know that this was actually here. Oh, what was this?
There's no picture. Just noise, but I saw it. I know I saw it.
Okay. I actually don't remember this. I don't remember my camera just going dead on me, but I don't know whose voice that was either. It's probably the guy that was telling me that you're not evil, Blake, but I'm gonna come get you anyways, you know? Alright, what's this?
Woman, or whatever she is, beat him to death. Something about finding Lynn. Something about a chapel.
Oh, this was our first friend that we had made in Outlast. You remember he let us go down in his basement to get away from the other people? And he was like, you're the outsider, you're the outsider. His daughter was the reason that we had came to the Arizona desert in the first place. Because you remember Lynn in the helicopter was saying that there was a case of a pregnant woman wandering out in the Arizona desert. That's why we came to the Arizona desert, was because of his daughter. So I have mixed feelings about you, man. I'm just kidding. But he ended up being like my only ally, my only friend in this game. And I only met him, I was only with him for literally about, in game time, about a minute. Because it literally has me go down into his basement, his little apartment down there or whatever, that his daughter, he was hiding his daughter in. And then the next thing I know, Martha McCastrator over there with the crotch-destroying hammer decided she was just gonna come in and pay him a visit and ended up killing him. But yeah, anyone that was my friend in this, if I'd have had more friends, they probably would have died too, so.
I flayed them. Nailed them to wood. She was just a kid.
Yeah, what Blake does not know here is that he's gonna be seeing a ton more of that. Sadly, in this whole adventure, you see just random people just filleted, skin off, burnt to death, I mean, tied up to trees. I mean, they literally, like, praised that. That was like TV to them, watching people die and skinning people alive and stuff like that. It was kind of gruesome, but at the same time, it's like, what are you gonna do? Oh, yes, more of the clean text. The thing that I wish I'd have known. Yeah. Alright, let's play some more.
My teacher once told me that the music of birds was proof that God exists and loves us.
Pretty smart. Okay. I can't argue with that. Pretty good, Blake. Pretty smart teacher. Alright, what do we got next?
He said she did it to herself. He said he was protecting you.
Uh-huh. Said it. Okay. I don't remember where that one is. Some of these are kind of like in between. They probably would have made more sense in the context of the game. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm sorry. If I would have known right off the beginning that that I could actually go back and watch these recordings, I would have done it, but I did not know, and I'm sorry about that. But
chapel. I could see the chapel. How far did this go? I'm feeling my teeth at the sound of scissors.
Yep, there's the father. Father Knotts with his big mouth, intercoming all over the place. I'm sure he doesn't even need the intercom. I'm sure his loud mouth is loud enough for everyone to hear, but he just wanted to make it even louder. Ah, that douchebag. Ends up killing himself in the end. It's amazing. Alright.
Temple Gate, founded by Sullivan Noth, the modern Ezekiel. The knives sharp for the enemy.
I like the way he put that. The modern Ezekiel. That's pretty cool, because Ezekiel was the prophet. So I like the way he put that. This was also where I'm pretty sure we ran into Martha, the destroyer of crotches. So I'm pretty sure this is where we ran into her again. And yeah, she pretty much just follows us around the whole time. Oh great, more of this. Was that voice backwards? Was that being played backwards? I don't know. I don't ever remember my camera doing that. I'm pretty sure I would remember that.
This is where the magic happens. Chairs for an audience to watch. I only saw her afterwards. I couldn't have...
I'm pretty sure at this moment, I thought I was going into the mines, but boy was I mistaken. So I'm pretty sure this is right before the Scald. So we had found out that there were these people called the Scald, and I'm pretty sure that these were the tunnels that they were transporting the Scald to, or, you know, having these, they were having meetings and stuff. And so I'm pretty sure that these are where the Scald were kind of, you know, going underground, like an underground secrecy system, to where they wouldn't be found and stuff. So I'm pretty sure this is right before we were going, that this was right before we were going to see the Scald. More of the text, great!
Going to heaven. God, before they killed the children, you should have loved me. What am I doing?
Yeah, as you can see on this board, it says, don't be afraid, you're going to heaven. So that's why he's talking about heaven. And so, I don't remember why they wrote that. I don't remember. I remember we were in the school, and it was creepy as heck. The school was so creepy. The school was so creepy. But, yeah, they just liked killing children for no apparent reason.
The chapel is supposed to be sanctuary.
Ah, yes, this is right before we were going in. This is where we first saw Father Knotts. This is where that guy was all stretched out on that wheel, and he was like, kill me, just kill me. And he was trying to prevent him from talking himself to confessing where Lynn was. So, but he did tell us that she was in the mine. That's pretty much when we decided we needed to go to the mines right now. And it didn't happen for a while. But yeah, that's also where we first saw Father Knotts. We got a first glimpse of who he was.
They always hurt women to punish men. It's sick. It's cowardly.
Yeah, this is the other person that was in there. They brought in this other girl to make the guy that was basically stretched out on the wheel to confess where Lynn was. And they wanted Lynn so bad because she had the child. And so, yeah. I sat there and I watched her die. They stretched her to death. So it really was. It was sick. It was sick. And cowardly. Oh, I remember this.
Hung to cure. Hooks through their Achilles tendons.
Ugh. Yep, this was a slaughterhouse, as I called it, because as you can see, I'm pretty sure all these down here are cows, but I'm pretty sure these are also people up here. So you would see a cow here, and then all of a sudden you just see a human right here. They basically put them together and slaughtered them both. It was really sick in there. And that's also when Martha was chasing us around. Yeah, that's foreign language to me. I don't know what that means. I don't know.
The mines. This leads to the mines where the others took Lynn.
Yeah, that was pretty much our whole objective that whole time, was just to get to the mines. And it seemed like every time that I thought I was close to the mines, there was something in my way. It took me forever to get to the mines, but we finally did. We finally got Lynn, and then she just died on us, which wasn't good. All right, what's this?
I didn't even know what I was looking at. Some kind of deformed toddler.
I forgot about that. Because all of a sudden you just see this person walking, and then there come the Scald Kings or the Scald people with the guy with the bow and arrow on top of the bigger guy, on top of the guy named Nick. And all of a sudden, there's this guy walking, and next thing you know, he's shot down with an arrow. That guy, the guy with the bow and arrow, he was accurate. He was like Katniss Everdeen off of the Hunger Games. Jeezums. Oh, yeah. I want to think this is either a different language or they're rewinding it. So, I don't know. It probably would have made more sense in the actual text, the context of the game, but yeah.
She hanged herself before I could stop her. Or she didn't. No. Wait, not her. He. Fuck.
This is where we needed that rope to get down from, I think, to get down from some kind of elevator shaft or something. And so we had to go in through this town. We had to make our way through the skull town to get to this person who had hung themselves, gather the rope, and then go down. And that's where we fell almost to our death. But, we didn't, thank goodness. Alright, let's play more of this. Yeah. Yes, beautiful. Okay. That was nice.
It smelled like chemicals and dead things.
Oh, goodness. I remember the lake. Don't go in the lake, Blake. Don't be a fool, Blake. But yeah, this was the lake that I didn't see the mysterious man walk into, and I was like, there's nothing out there. And so I walk out there, next thing I know, I'm being drug under by Loch Ness Man or something like that. But yeah, you don't even want to stick your pinky toe in that water. Tried it, it didn't work. Alright, on to the next one. Alright, let's see, what else do we have here?
A radio tower or microwave relay. Civilization, maybe. For a second, I was dumb enough to think I might not die.
I want to think this is after we had done what we needed to do at the lake. We were up at the top of the other side that we needed to go. And so this is where we were about to get on the river raft. Yeah! That was an enjoyable time.
Raining blood. Dripping off her shoes, I think. No. Just... I tried not to step in the blood because I didn't want to leave tracks.
Yeah, this is when it got really creepy. When it started raining blood, that's when I knew, oh my goodness, things are really about to start to get creepy. And they did. They really, really did. Oh, it's still going. Are you done? You done? Good. Okay. Yeah, again, I don't know. I don't know. Okay, we'll play this, sure. Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. He's speaking some kind of alien language, I don't know.
Trapped.
Right.
I was never gonna get out. Now I knew it. At least I'd be there with her.
Yeah, this is when I kept dying. This is right after we had fallen straight into the mines. And I was like, why? I would jump out of the elevator, and then I would keep dying. And I was like, what the heck is killing me? It turns out the elevator, once you jump out and get to a certain point, the elevator just snaps. And it falls the rest of the feet that it needs to go. The part that you jumped out of, it all of a sudden, the elevator just falls and it smashes you. And I was standing there like a goofus with my head down, trying to figure out where I needed to go. And every time I kept dying because this elevator kept falling on me. Finally, I figured out, oh, that's why it's doing that. So, yeah, I eventually got past that part, but it took me a while to figure out what was actually happening.
They lived down here. No, not lived. I had to find Lynn. I hoped I hadn't already.
Yeah. I told you, Blake. I told you were just gonna keep finding these burnt-off, skinless people, but... Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't think these people live down here, or they may have lived down there, but not by choice. They didn't want to. So it kind of got me thinking, you know, are these people that were down here, were they either the Skald? Were they people that kind of betrayed the society, the group, the father? Or were they people like me that happened to just be flying by or coming into that part and they abducted them? What were these people, you know? I feel like a good majority of them were the Scald, but then again, the Scald had their own place. So maybe these were the traitors or the outcast or the outliers like I was. So that I was thinking that these people may have been like that. And that's what I figure, if they would have found me, if they would have found Blake, me, then I feel like after they kill me, they just do what they did to this guy, sit me in a wooden basket made of sticks and skin me alive. I feel like that's what they would have done to me.
Decorated with the dead. I checked faces looking for Lynn. Looking for my own.
Oh.
For Jessica.
You can just tell he's in this different realm. He's in this different place. He's uncertain about everything. He's so uncertain. Yeah, I remember this. This was towards the end. We're almost at the end now. And I remember this wall. Probably one of the sickest things in this game is just bodies lined up. They're basically decorations, yeah. Blake put it best. They're decorations, and it's sad.
Loving and hating God is the same thing. Like making and killing children is the same thing. She told me to meet her in the music room.
She told me to meet her in the music room. So that's Jess. He's talking to Jess there. He's saying that's Jess. But, yeah, I don't have much of a comment on that one. Oh, yes, look, the last chapter.
We're out.
Fuck you!
I got Jessica out.
Fuck your
It was cold, but the snow had just started. We'll find a grown-up, and we'll tell them what happened. We'll be okay.
Well,
it's not my fault.
We'll tell a grown-up. I know we're not grown-ups. We're not grown-ups. I'll go find a grown-up, and we'll tell him what happened, because we're not grown-ups. I love how during me taping this, Lynn is just in the background shouting profanity in my ear hole at this at the crotch-destroying lady that a spear fell from the heavens and penetrated her. That was great. I also loved how Lynn over here is saying, the baby's coming, it hurts so bad. And Blake's like, hold on, baby, your problems can wait. I have to record this. So he's like, hold on, Lynn, you're just going to have to shut up for like 10 seconds so that I can record this and I can commentate over it. Now, honey, your profanity is getting in my shot, okay? So shut your mouth. Just calm down. Don't worry, in the editing system, I'll turn her voice down. Yeah, but that was towards the end. Is that the last tape? That's the last tape. Okay, so the last tape is literally Lynn shouting profanity in my earhole as I commentate over the crotch lady finally being destroyed and dead. So, this was actually a really cool way of doing things. I really like how they put the recordings in here as a part of the game. So that was really cool to actually look back and kind of reflect on the game the adventure that we had just played out. So, now that we've kind of gotten through Blake's thoughts, I wanted to kind of go through my own. Overall, the game was really cool. I thought it was really good. Now, compared to the first, especially since I literally came out of playing the first going into the second, I thought the first was better. And that's usually the case with games. You know, the first is usually the best. And in this case, Outlast was, in my opinion, better than Outlast 2. Now, this game was really cool. And it had its own little, you know, things that made it really unique. But yeah, overall, I thought Outlast 2 was good. Of course, what makes Outlast different from other horror games is, first off, the characters actually talk to you. They actually have the personality, a voice. You know, they're not some figure just chasing after you, grunting or whatever. They actually communicate with you. And so that's pretty cool. The second thing that's the big thing is that there's chase sequences, chase scenes. And that's what really makes Outlast 2 really cool. Now, I felt like at the end, it kind of got repetitive with the whole chase scenes, which whenever you do Outlast, you're basically signing up for all these chase scenes. That's a given. But, you know, I feel like there's a point where just a good jump scare would have been great, you know, and a good jump scare to where whenever it jumps at you, it doesn't start chasing you, you know, it just jumps at you and leaves or something, you know. But I do enjoy how the chase sequences happen. They're pretty cool. They add a different kind of horror to it, because there's something about being chased by something that you know is going to kill you that brings fear, a different element of fear into the game. Now, the main thing that I loved about Outlast 2 was the transitions, and I raved about this. I praised this during the whole game. I said how cool it was, but I thought it was cool how the sequences from the Arizona desert to the school to the Arizona desert, those change sequences were so cool. They were so awesome, so well put together, and that was really cool to me. Now, as far as the Arizona desert part, I thought to me that was more stressful than scary. I thought that, as for me, there was more chase sequences, so for me it was more stress. It was stress-inducing. To me, the chase sequences weren't as scary, but they were just stressful on me, because I knew that I had to get away from this in order to survive, you know, and get to the next part. And it would take me a few times to do it, you know, and so after a while, it would kind of get, you know, frustrating and stressful, and so as far as the Arizona desert part, I didn't think it was so much as scary, but more weird and gruesome and just stressful. Now, as far as the school part, I thought the school part was scary. I thought, for me anyways, it was more scary. It had more kind of like the jump scares. It had a few chase sequences, but overall it was just more dark and just really it was just really scary. I don't know. I can't put it. Something about a dark, scary, creepy school, Catholic school, something about that just scares the heck out of me. So, but yeah, again, the change sequences from those two settings was really awesome. I really enjoyed that. There were a few parts in this that I thought it kind of drugged, especially like the river raft ride. I feel like that part right there is kind of where Outlast kind of dipped down into not being as exciting, and it kind of peaked back up and kind of went through. And the ending, don't even get me started about the ending. The ending was crazy, but I felt like it progressively went up until when that river raft ride came. It just kind of went down from there, because it was kind of just drug on to me. That part wasn't necessarily the best. Now the ending again with Outlast, the endings are always crazy and they always make my jaw drop. In the first Outlast, my jaw dropped because we ended up not making it. We ended up dying at the last second. And in this, you know, Lynn dies. The whole point of this thing was to get Lynn and get out. And, well, we failed. You know, Lynn ends up dying, and all of a sudden we have this baby. And the whole time that you're doing this, the world is literally ending in front of you. And so, yet again, Outlast has made my jaw drop during an ending of their game. So, it's pretty cool. Another thing that I was thinking about during this was, okay, so when we got there, Lynn wasn't pregnant. Into the game, she gets pregnant, and then at the end of the game, she has the baby. So you have to think, you know, typically it takes a child 9 months to be born. So that means that we were there for almost a year, unless they had some kind of crazy contraption to make a baby grow super fast. Then that means that we would have been there for at least 9 months. If not a little more or a little less, which I didn't think about until the game had ended, and I was sitting in my room and I was like, we would have had to have been there for at least 9 months. That's crazy. So yeah, I thought I would just throw that in there. I thought that was pretty cool how we would have had to have been there at least 9 months. So hell for at least 9 months is what we had to go through. But yeah, overall, I thought the game was good. I thought it was a really cool experience, and yeah, so I just kind of wanted to give you my thoughts on it and go through these recordings and get Blake's thoughts on everything. And so, what a crazy adventure. What a crazy adventure. I'm glad that we finally finished this game. Now, there's one last thing that we have to do with Outlast. In general, is there's a DLC for Outlast, and it's called Whistleblower. So, I'm thinking about playing that. Probably not for a little while, because I kind of want to get away from Outlast, because if you think about it, I've been putting videos on Outlast, the series, ever since spring break. So, I feel like we need to kind of get a break from Outlast, but eventually I will be playing the Whistleblower of Outlast, the DLC. So, that's going to be really cool, because I've heard that is the best of Outlast. That Whistleblower is the best of Outlast. It's better than Outlast. It's better than Outlast 2. That DLC Whistleblower is what I hear from is the bomb. So, I'm excited to play that eventually. But like I said, I think we're going to give it a break. But, I feel like I've rambled on for too long. So, I'm going to end it here, guys. So, tell me what you guys thought about the game down in the comments, because I'd like to know what you guys thought of the game. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching. And if you like. If you comment. If you subscribe. And I'll see you guys next episode. Goodbye.